a young girl had a piece of work to do for school. She had to write an essay. And the subject of her essay was, what's the difference between anger and exasperation? And she didn't know, so she asked her father to help her. And the dad said he would, and that he would try his best to explain the difference to her. So the father went over to the phone and lifted the receiver and randomly dialed a number. A man answered the other end of the phone, and the father said, "Hello, is Martin there?" And the answer came back, "There is no one here called Martin. Check the numbers next time before you dial." So the father turned to his daughter and said, "Now you see, that man must have been busy and we bothered him. He's annoyed. Let me show you anger." So the dad went over to the phone, picked up the receiver and dialed the same number again. And when the man on the other end answered the phone, the father said, "Hello, is Martin there?" "Now, hold on a minute," the answer came back. "You called this number a few minutes ago and I told you no one at this number was called Martin. You have some cheek to call back again," and slammed down the phone. So the dad turned to his daughter and said, "Now, that's anger. Let me show you exasperation." So the dad went over to the phone and picked up the phone and dialed that poor man's number again. "Hello," it was a very fast response. And the dad said, "Hello, my name is Martin. Were there any calls for me?" So, he was trying to show her a little bit of the difference between anger and exasperation. But I don't know about you, but I was brought up to be nice. And being nice and being angry never went together, at least not the way I was brought up. Being angry was not a good thing. It was not a nice thing to be. So I struggled growing up with the times when I did get angry, and I would feel very guilty about it. And I would have different ways of trying to cope with it. One way would be to swallow it or bury it and push those feelings back down again. Another way would be to remember and get the person back another time. And in another way, maybe the holy way, was just to forgive anyway. Then came along my young cousin, who had a very different way of dealing with his anger. Celebrity style. Smashing plates, drawing on the walls when he didn't get the attention he wanted, slamming doors, you name it, he did it. He had no problem whatsoever about being angry or showing it in public. I was very jealous of him because I couldn't do that. In fact, I think I even disliked him because he was so comfortable with being angry and I wasn't. I carried guilt and he hadn't a bit of it. We were quite the opposite. But looking back on it, I don't think either one of us would win awards on anger management class. Why is anger so complicated when it's only an emotion? And how can Jesus, of all people, how can Jesus get angry as he does in the temple? It strikes me that there are at least two different kinds of reasons to get angry. There are more, but I'd just like to focus on two this morning. There are selfish reasons, and there are righteous reasons to be angry. Some people get mad when the service in a restaurant is a little slow, and they might fall over the staff and give out. Other people will get angry at seeing people being forced to live in refugee camps, and they will support an aid agency. Some people get mad when a referee makes a decision we don't like. Other people get mad when they see families being thrown out of their homes for not being able to meet the mortgage repayment. Selfish reasons for being angry could include when I'm angry because people aren't doing things the way I want them done. Or maybe I could get angry because life isn't turning out the way I want it to, even though I've made all the decisions myself. Or I might get angry when I'm late, and that guy in front of me just will not get out of my way. Sound familiar? Maybe. Then there are righteous reasons for getting angry. Righteous reasons are definitely about me and how I am treated. But they're also about other people and how they're treated. It's about something bigger than just me. Righteous anger is an energy, and there is nothing right or wrong with that energy. There is nothing right or wrong with anger. What makes the difference is what we do with it, how we express it, because it has to be expressed if we want to stay healthy. What we do with the anger is what makes the difference. And righteous anger, if it's channeled in a positive way, can make a huge difference in our lives and in the lives of other people. Jesus cannot tolerate it when some people who are innocent or who are kind are mistreated or taken advantage of in any way. And neither should we. Jesus channels his energy to heal and to renew and to restore. Imagine if we were to channel the negative, the energy, the anger that we have at the church for the scandals and how they did or didn't handle them. Maybe then we could demand and make a church that is more open and inclusive and caring. And maybe then forgiveness would make sense. Or what if we were to channel the anger, the energy that we have towards the banks and the government? Maybe then we could vote for politicians and systems that are transparent and accountable and fair. And maybe then forgiveness would make sense. And I'm sure there are lots of other ways that could be made much better if we were to channel this energy in a positive way, for it's only an energy. What makes you angry? What makes you so angry that you think something has to be done about that? Someone should do something about that. What if your anger is God's way of letting you know that that someone